So sunny, man. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. How you doing, Stuart? Obviously, I've never done anything like this before, so I thought, let me just go live. Might not get anyone in, but I'm just gonna see. Because I didn't watch the game. I want to see any West Ham fans. I want to, that did watch it. I want to hear their thoughts, how the game went, how we looked, all of that, and then obviously my feelings are, I foresaw this. I predicted all of this a long time ago, so I'm not surprised. So it would be interesting to have some, if someone that hasn't been in there before, West Ham, watch the game and just hearing what people actually think of the situation. I'm not staying on it for too long either, but the situation is we are bottom of the Premier League after 3 games. We haven't scored any goals. Squad is looking very thin. And so the purpose of this video is, it's not for anything views. I really want to hear, I want somebody to come in that hasn't been in there before as a West Ham fan and give me their opinion. I didn't watch the game because I don't stream games. And by the look of things, it's probably a good thing I didn't watch it. And I'm glad it wasn't on Sky doing a watch along to that. So I'm not going to stay on past the Man City game, which is obviously 4:30. And if no one comes in here, no one comes in here. It doesn't matter to me, but it would be good to hear somebody's thoughts on that particular game and this particular situation. But this wasn't scheduled. I literally just set it up right now. Where are we? I just want to check something. I want to check the stats that don't always mean anything, but West Ham had 3 shots on target. 2 yellow cards. Brighton didn't get any. And one of them was for the penalty, obviously. So it's all nicely for West Ham. If you ain't going to be winning games, then you need to be, I think, putting yourself about a bit. The substitutions, Skamaka on 62 minutes. 4 minutes later, they score. And then on 75 minutes, he brings on Cornet, Lanzini, Ben Johnson at 2-0 down. So now, once again, realistically, 75 minutes, you're making those 3 subs and you're 2-0 down. It's too late by then. So once again, it's reactive rather than proactive. 1-0 down at half time. I did message in the disabled teams watch along. I said, no subs. and then you've done the generic 60 minutes. Let's make a substitution. So yeah, I honestly, genuinely wanted to see somebody that is, that watched the game and is West Ham to come in the chat, and you would be more than welcome to actually come in the stream, even if you're on camera or not, and just voice your opinions. Here we go. Ian Salts, we are too. Oh, so right, Ian, thank you for joining. And obviously your West Ham, you say we are too predictable. Ian, I've been saying this for so long, 2 seasons now. We are predictable. The team picks itself, and because of that, the opposing teams have their jobs a lot easier to work out tactically what we're going to do. Ian, did you watch the game? If so, please give me your feedback on the game. I didn't watch it. I don't stream games, and if they're on BT or Sky, then obviously I watch them. But yeah, I don't stream games. So let me know if you watched that game, Ian, and how bad was it? Big up Leeds 2022 as always. Well done Leeds as well. 3-0 at home to Chelsea. Fantastic result, fantastic performance. I watched that game because it was on Sky, obviously. So yeah, the purpose of this, like I said, is I normally prepare everything, and but this wasn't. This was like, actually no. I want somebody. Right, here we go. Worried for Leeds? No way. Exactly. I never was worried for Leeds. I want somebody that watched the game. That's West Ham. Somebody like Ian Salts to give me, a breakdown of the game. And like I said, I'll gladly put the link in the chat for you to come on and me to actually hear, what's going on. But look, the reality is this: 3 defeats from 3 games. We didn't have the toughest of opponents. Man City, yes, 2-0. We've lost to Forest. Were we unlucky? Yeah, but at the end of the day, you still got to do your job. And now we've lost at home to Brighton, 2-0. We haven't scored in any of these games. 3 games, no goals. The substitutions, as always, seem predictable. The Europa Conference League performance wasn't convincing to me. And I say it again, I predicted all of this long time ago. I did say at the end of last season, West Ham will finish 13th this season. Maybe I was being a bit too optimistic because, things are not looking good. Fantastic. Yes, we started the wrong lineup. You know what, Robert? Based off of the game on Thursday, I think Skamaka and Cornet should have started. I said this during that watch along. I don't ever just say things, after the fact. Anything I say, I've already said it before the fact. There's big problems. Big problems. I want to know how Bowen done today. I want to know how Ben Rama done. He's had a fantastic game against Forest, who are still in, a championship side. Yeah, they made all these signings, but they still got to, gel and all of that. Then he came on and made an impact against a very poor Viborg team. So I want to know how Ben Rama done, and hopefully he done good still, because then at least that's one shining light that he's found some form. Sorry if I've missed any comments. Good, but I'm concerned about West Ham. I won't lie. Do you think the problems in the camp, Robert? There's problems. Richard, big up Richard, man. I swap managers. Thanks for tuning in, Richard. Richard, did you watch the game? And if so, just tell me how the game was. I didn't watch the game. And it's been a while, Richard, but thanks for tuning in. Like I said, this wasn't scheduled, so you lot have somehow probably just popped up and you've jumped in. I'm not going to waste no one's time. I'm not going to stay past the Man City kickoff, which is, 4:30. So at 4:25, we'll come off of here. So I haven't wasted no one's time. This ain't for views or none of that. This is generally, I want to hear somebody. No one got more than this 5 out of 6 for me. Okay, so yeah, Robert watched the game. I want to know, man, what was lacking from West Ham? What was good about the performance? What was worrying? What was concerning? And I'm sure it's Villa next game. Just tell me, where do we see West Ham's first goal coming from? And where do we see West Ham's first point or points coming from? Fixtures. We are away to Villa, who are not having the best of starts, but they do have 3 points on the board. Away to Villa, next game, you lot. Let's be honest, right? For all Moyes has done for West Ham, he steadied the ship, got us into Europe twice. Moyes is definitely part of the problem at West Ham, right? I'm not saying Moyes out, but I'm saying he's clearly part of the problem, and that's not just from this season. You know, not utilizing the squad, running the players into the ground, making the team so predictable in how we're going to set up, how we're going to start a game, and all of that. Eventually, you know, even the teams that have just come up, they will have as much intel on West Ham as they need, because it's basically the same team, same players, week in, week out. Benrahma was useless, says Richard. Zuma played like a lame donkey. Played one up against 3 centre-backs. See what I'm saying? So Moyes is clearly part of the problem. The lack of signings or the delay, the dithering and all of that and now it seems West Ham are just, you know, signing players out of necessity rather than actually, listen, this is who we're going for. We've identified them. We've got them. We should have done our business. As soon as that transfer window opened, we should have had 2 free signings through the door, like Leeds done in the first couple of weeks. That means that we were prepared and we planned what we're doing. Leeds done it, and now look what Leeds are doing now. New manager. They've sold their best 2 players in Phillips and Rafinha, but they went out. They've done their due diligence way before the season ended and got those players in straight away. And now look at them. 7 points. And really and truly, you know, they threw away a 2-goal lead last week against Southampton. But the reality is this: they probably learned from that. Every football match, you should take, you know, some learning experiences from that. Probably learn from that. And I said it during Stuart and the disabled teams watch along. They will learn from that and not throw a 2-goal lead away against a better opponent in Chelsea. So, you know, those 7 points, yeah, they threw away points last week, but then they may well have lost or whatever this week. So it doesn't matter. It all balances out. So Leeds got 7 points because they had a plan. Sub Johnson. Yeah, and this is another thing. This is a good point, right? You know, why was Johnson sub? Why was he sub? You know, he's coming at centre back. I said this, you know, once I saw the lineup, like, you got to find somewhere in the team for Ben Johnson, somewhere, whether it's left back for Creswell or whether it's right back for Soufal. You just drop him once, and you understand what I'm saying to you? Like, for me, that's poor management, man. This guy's, you know, he plays anywhere for West Ham and generally does a good job. Right, here we go. If Kura was ready for Premier League, why wasn't Skamaka ready? Exactly. Sub Skamaka was on fire. Should have started the game. Creswell had a mate. Amer, another one. See what I'm saying? Ben Johnson will do no worse than Aaron Creswell. And like I said, you could have easily started Creswell sub and Johnson on the left as left back, because, you know, he does a job for West Ham wherever you play him. The subs, listen to me, right? 62 minutes you bring on Skamaka. So that's a 60-minute substitution. Predictable as always, 1 sub. Then 2-0 down, you bring on 3 subs, and the game's done by now. So who's those 3 subs to appease? Is that to look good? You know, I brought on 4 subs. It's too late. It's way too late. Souček was shocking again. There's major problems at West Ham. And now the reality is this. Realistically, West Ham have to try and win that Europa Conference League and not be in a relegation fight this season. That's the reality. And then, it makes you think, okay, all right, Moyes, you got us to where you've got us. It wasn't convincing last season. And if we would have made a few transfers in the January transfer market, I said this at the time, I think they would have got us over the line into 6th spot ahead of Manchester United, and potentially we could have won the Europa League. But we made no signings in January when we had injuries. We was thin. We're even thinner this season after the people we've sold and the injuries we have. So Moyes has got to take a large chunk of the blame as to the situation West Ham are in. Phil for Johnson. Got a chance with Johnson, put a good cross in. Other people couldn't beat the first man. No way is Fornals a 10. I didn't see 4-0 today, but one thing I would say is 4-0 generally is always very consistent for West Ham and always, you know, plays at a certain level, which is a lot of the time is above some of the other players. I didn't see him today. So yeah, I want to know, like, where do we go from here? Where do we go? When is Moyes? And I said this before the season started. I said this to Stuart from the disabled team. I think Moyes is scared to upset players and scared for competition. So rather than bringing players that are actually going to take his favourites' place or at least, really push them, he don't want to do that. To me, it seems like he don't want to do that. He don't want to upset the apple cart. But by doing that, there's no competition for places at West Ham. And you can never progress if there ain't competition within the squad. And I don't think there's any real competition for places. And even when we finally bring in a striker that was much sought after, a lot of people, professionals were surprised he ended up at West Ham. He can score from outside the box. He's great in the air. All of that, he's still not starting, even though he played on Thursday and scored a good header. I don't know which means a number 10. Yeah. That's what I knew he said. Yeah, that's what he said. No way a 10. Moyes won't drop Antonio for Scamacca. Big up Lee Statham. Thanks for joining. So yeah, this is going to be, we've got 15 minutes left. I did want someone to actually come in here that had watched the game and just tell me, how the game went. Aston Villa away. Right, still no creative midfielder. No, and then look, the people like Onana, the targets that we was looking at, slip through our fingers and go to the likes of Everton. So there's issues. There's a lot of issues at West Ham where things are not getting done. That's on the pitch, off the pitch, possibly at the training ground as well, where things is not being done as they should be. This is going to go back to West Ham season that we've been accustomed to over the years, which is floating, not near Europe, potentially flirting with relegation. This is going to be that season. Aston Villa away next. This sounds crazy. 1 minute. We are bottom of the table, right? On goal, same goal difference as Man United, but they've scored a goal. We haven't. Fixtures, right? So Villa. Look at this. Look at our next Premier League fixtures. Villa away, Spurs at home, Chelsea away. Let's say we'll leave it at that, and then Newcastle at home. So Villa away, Spurs at home, Chelsea away. Where do you see the points coming from in those 3 games? Villa away, Chelsea. Remember, Chelsea have just lost 3-0 to Leeds, so you would expect a reaction. I know it's not directly the next game. Yeah, here we go. That Nunes signed for Wolves did well. Who you were after too, apparently. Yep. He's gone to Wolves. We were sloppy in passing, as always. And then look at it. We were well beaten. Now, I tuned into... I had one device watching Stuart. I tuned in quickly on another device to Charlie's watch-along, Hammers Chat. And, at the start, he sounded like West Ham were the better team. And then apparently, as soon as they scored, after that, they were the better team. So, yeah. I'm worried, but I was already worried. I was worried in January. I was worried at the end of the season. And realistically, I'm more worried now because after those 3 games, I would have thought we would have had at least 3 points on the board. And we have none. It has to be Villa. Chelsea will have Aubameyang up top when you play them, and it's away. No, sorry, that's at home. Not that means anything to West Ham. Villa's away. If we lose to Villa without scoring, Moyes is toast-hitch. This is the thing. Imagine without scoring, right? Because like I said, how can you go from 6th and 7th and then the next season potentially lose your first 4 games without scoring a goal? Who do you blame? Because it's the same players. So therefore, it has to be the manager. Because those same players got you where they got you. So it's the manager, whether that's running him into the ground, whether not changing his tactics, not having a plan B and C. The manager is to blame. The same way, Moyes got all the credit for getting West Ham into Europe, but there were still people, and correctly so, saying, hold on a minute, if we would have done things slightly different, we could have got Champions League in the first season. We could have got Europa League last season. So even then, there were still fingers being pointed at him, and rightly so. Penalty, yeah, given away. I saw that. Ogbonna started the last game. I know it is, not Premier League pace and all of that, but why he was on the bench today? Why did he not start today? Moyes likes to bed in new signings, but you put this guy straight in. Why did Ogbonna not start instead of this guy? Yeah, we have got 10 more minutes, and I'll end this just so you lot can go and watch Newcastle v Man City, which I'm assuming most of you will do. Yeah, I don't know what to say. It's not looking good. And then, obviously, we had to play on Thursday. We've got to play again this Thursday and then play Villa. This competition is very important for West Ham. So Moyes is going to actually have to go as strong as possible, I believe, just to make sure that we get through. Because if they score first, then that game or that tie changes dramatically. They had chances at the London Stadium that they didn't take. Yeah, so realistically, once again, we're going to be tired for the Villa game because we have to qualify for this, and we didn't get the job fully done on Thursday. If we would have won 3 or 4-0 on Thursday and played with intensity and all that, then we could have went out there with a much weakened squad. Because Moyes once again got his tactics wrong in that game, the tie is still in the balance, and now we've got to go a little bit stronger against Viborg. Subsequently, from that means those same players that are going to have to play in that game are going to have to play against Villa. So David Moyes has got to take a lot of responsibility for what's going wrong at West Ham. How are you? Tell Moyes all the teams are evolving. Exactly. All of them. And even the ones like Brighton that sell their best players, and, look, they sold Basuma, Cucurella, and then they've still beaten us convincingly. So even those that sell, they plan ahead. Why is it doing that? They plan ahead. That's annoying me. One sec. Does that work? Sort of. Yeah, they're planning ahead. West Ham are not planning ahead, and because of that, it's going to come to bite us. Now, Kieran's made a good point. Kieran made a point saying West Ham need a whole new squad. Fuck's sake. Whole new squad. So there's a lot of players that need to go because of their age and all of that. And then that means we've got to bring in loads of players. And now you can't bring in loads of players at any one time. So instead of doing things in stages, January, 1 or 2, this transfer window, and then, now all of a sudden we're going to get to a point where, potentially Dawson, Ogbonna, Creswell, because of their age and stuff, we're going to have to move them on. And then now we're going to have to just bring in a whole load of players rather than doing it bit by bit in stages like most other teams do. Titch, is Kera left, and is he taller than you? Yeah, so he's left-footed. Ooh, he's definitely taller than me. Remember, I'm like 5'6", so he's definitely taller than me. Let me just check something. I don't know if it tells you his height here. Why did he look small, Richard, compared to Brighton? That don't tell me his height there. I'm sure he's 6'2". Is he taller than you? He better be taller than me. No, he's definitely taller than me. 1 second. Tilo Kura height. 1 minute, Richard. Height in feet. He is. So it says height in feet, and I put it in bloody meters. He is 6'1". 6'1". So not the tallest of centre backs. Sorry about it. Was it deserved? Well, by what I was hearing, yes, and now what I'm hearing, by people like Robert and Richard that actually watched the game, it was a deserved defeat. We've got 5 minutes, you lot, and then that gives you 5 minutes to get ready for the Newcastle v Man City game. Yeah, I'm gonna start. Yes, a midget centre back. 6'1" is not. Yeah, it's not the tallest. And Man United have signed I think 5'9" in that Lisandro Lopez or whatever his name is, and the people are asking the same question: is he too small? I was gonna say, yeah. So I am gonna start doing some lunchtime lives. 12 till 1 on some of the days during the week. I just didn't have time and all of that. And it is about football fans, not just West Ham, just having their voice, their opinion, coming into the stream if they want, and just speaking about their club situation, good or bad. What we got here? But yeah, thanks for everyone that's tuned in here. This wasn't about. It was just I wanted to get some feedback from those that had watched the game. But yeah, Moyes has definitely. He's to blame for this. He's to blame for the situation West Ham are in. Right? I've got no doubt about that. And just looking at it on paper, which I was doing, the substitutions were predictable, the timing and all that was, and then I think at halftime you should have brought on 2 subs, and it should have been Cornet and Scamacca. Now, somebody that watched the game could have said, no, we actually needed to bring on 3 because so and so needs to come off. But I'm saying at the very least, you didn't do anything at halftime. You bring on Scamacca on 62 minutes. We go 2-0 down, and then on 75 minutes, you bring on 3 players. Right, even Rice is playing poorly. Yep, he was poor against Forest. That penalty was atrocious, and he is playing poorly. And by doing that, potentially his value could go down. It's a nightmare for West Ham. Nightmare. Right. Big up Acid Joke for joining. Passive and uncommitted. We pass the ball like amateurs. As Shania said, that don't impress me. That don't impress me. Yeah, and that's another thing. We needed to identify the players in the transfer window that are good possession players, good at making West Ham a better team, because we are woeful in possession. We are poor. And now we're not even scoring goals either. So 3 games with no goals for a team that finished the last 2 seasons in the European places is shocking. I don't know what else to say. And, we've got 3 minutes. Fuck off, man. This sun. 3 minutes. Yeah, I just, Acid has obviously watched the game. Passive, uncommitted. There's players in there that need to just, get on the bench. At the very, their best position should be on the bench. Creswell's one of them, in my opinion. Antonio, I think, now that we have Scamacca, is probably going to be better suited to come on as an impact player. I don't know. I don't know what he's waiting for with Scamacca. Now, the only good thing about this is surely for the Villa game, fuck off. For the Villa game, Scamacca starts, Cornet starts, Lanzini might start as well. Yeah, surely he's got to make changes. He's starting to annoy me. No, he was already annoying me. Even when things was going well in regards to the points and all of that, he was annoying me then. And now he's really starting to annoy me. And I'll tell you why. Is because it seems like he's got too much power at West Ham. I don't know if he feels untouchable and all of that, but he is starting to annoy me, right? Paqueta would transform us to Titch. Yes, he would. But once again, Moyes is fearful of bringing in players to upset the current players in regards to, all right, you're on the bench now. You've got to work your way back in the team. Having European conference won't help either, I'm afraid to say, brother. No, it won't. But it's 24 minutes past, so I'm going to end the stream. Thanks to everybody that came. It was literally spur of the moment. And we'll be back soon. And let's just see, the Villa game. Let's see what happens. But yeah, thanks. I'm going to watch that game. I'm sure most of you are. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to end this. And yeah, hopefully West Ham, things need to turn around in the very next game against Villa. I guess that's football. Fucking hell, Moyes football. Anyway, see you later, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good day and see you soon.